What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Wednesday, March 9th. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Let me know in the comments section who your favorite plays are for today's slate. And finally, shout out to No House Advantage for being the presenting sponsor of this video. Use the promo code Awesemo when signing up to get up to $25 on your first deposit. Now we're rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with Fred VanVleet, Christian Wood, PJ Washington, Miles Bridges, and Ayo Dosunmu on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites? My top 5 plays for today? It's time to find out. In first at number 5, I'm taking a look at Jonas Valanciunas. Joe Val is center eligible, 7,400, projected for 42. Wow. The goal is 54. He's in the optimal lineup 13% of the time. Price is just falling for Joe Val, but he's still like a 1.3 fantasy point per minute guy in this matchup. 32 minutes, 18 points, and the key piece here, 14 rebounds. He's going to dominate the glass against Orlando. 2.5 assists, a stock and a half. Pace up spot against the Magic. They gain 1.8 possessions over their average, and they're 8-point favorites. This spot looks fantastic for Joe Val. I think he's in for a big day on the boards. If the scoring follows him, he's going to have a pretty monstrous night. The Magic aren't very good. In at number 4, I'm taking a look at Jae'Sean Tate. He's power forward eligible, 4,800. I got him projected for 29. The goal is 38. He's in the optimal lineup just 15% of the time, though. He's a little over a fantasy point per minute guy in this matchup. Pace up spot against the Lakers, and it should be competitive. They're only 4-point underdogs. I gave him 28 minutes, 19% usage, 12 points, 7 boards, 3 assists, and a stock and a half. It's just another place to find value in an advantageous matchup. Houston versus LA is a really great fantasy environment. It's two bad defenses, it's two fast teams, and there's just a lot of opportunity to go around. I'm going to take a shot on Tate. I don't think a lot of people are going to be there today. I really don't want to talk about this one. It's a minutes play at best. I hope we get more value as the day goes on. Number 3, Aaron Wiggins. He's shooting guard small forward, which means you can put him in at guard forward and utility as well. It's a lot of flexibility. He's 3,400, and there's basically like 8 guys out for the Oklahoma City Thunder. I got him projected for 22 fantasy points. The goal is about 30. He's in the optimal lineup 16% of the time. This dude stinks. He doesn't do anything from a fantasy perspective. I gave him 30 minutes. He could play more. Oklahoma City's in a great matchup. Wolves defense not very good. 3.4 possessions over their average in this spot. This is massive pace up territory for OKC. They are 14-point underdogs, though, against Minnesota. 10 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, and a stock for Aaron Wiggins. Look, I don't like this at all. It will come down as the day moves on. But for right now, getting a guy that can go into all 5 spots at $400 above the minimum, no matter how bad he actually is, I think it's still worth a shot on the day that you get those 30. Those are valuable points. In at number 2, I'm going back to Houston for Kevin Porter Jr. Just point guard eligibility, which is kind of annoying. 6,300, projected for 36, goal 47. He's in the optimal lineup 16% of the time. Gave him 32 minutes. Same matchup as Tate. It just looks really good here against the Lakers. He's like a 1.1 fantasy point per minute guy. 16 points, 5 boards, 6 assists, and a steal. All that seems pretty darn good to me. I mostly just want to get a lot of this team in, like, nothing crazy specific. Porter and Tate stand out a little bit more, but I kind of want to cast a wide net to a couple Lakers and to a couple guys from the Rockets, just because it's going to look like a poor, talented all-star game. It's going to be very up and down. They're probably going to cough the ball up a lot, but there's not going to be any defense to be found. And that's going to be a lot of fantasy points, both from missed shots and just scoring in general. Now, before we get to that number 1 contender, one last reminder, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Let me know in the comments who your favorite plays are, and then go sign up at No House Advantage using the promo code Awesemo. And finally, we are closing it out with something I never expected. Number 1, Marvin Bagley. Power forward center eligible for Detroit, just 5K. Projected for 34. The goal is 39. He's in the optimal lineup 24% of the time. Isaiah Stewart got hurt in the last one. Bagley was his backup, and now he's going to be starting 31 minutes here for Bagley, 1.1 fantasy points per minute. It's pace neutral against Chicago. It's mildly competitive. They're only 6-point dogs, and maybe, just maybe, Well, honestly, if it's Vooch, you're not really worried about it to begin with. If it's not Vooch, they're just shorthanded and it's Tristan Thompson, and that looks pretty good too. Double-double out of the gate for Bagley. Like, he's a good fantasy point per minute guy. 16 points, 10.5 rebounds, not much else. A steal and maybe a stock. This is the best value you're going to find today. Bagley stepping into a much bigger role, and he's a good per minute guy, and you get the power forward eligibility. Marvin Bagley is your #1 contender. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Wednesday, March 9th. FanDuel and Yahoo versions of this video around here somewhere. Check it out. Good luck tonight, everybody. Win the money. We're back again tomorrow morning for another edition of the Contenders.